let me go ahead. I forgot to record it already, so there we go. Already thinking of putting the stressors of the holidays on top of your already stressful caregiving duties can be a lot, for anybody, especially for family caregivers. A lot of family caregivers sometimes don't even get the opportunity to celebrate the holidays, just depending on your circumstances. Either you don't want to deal with the stress, you don't know how, maybe you were the one that always hosted everybody and you just don't know how you could manage that now, how you could fix everybody dinner, how you can shop for gifts, if not from just the restrictions of being a caregiver or monetary restrictions or anything like that. So I've got a little PowerPoint for y'all today. And even though this is maybe not some of the things that could fix specifically your situation, maybe it's things you could consider for the future, just maybe something you haven't thought about before, or maybe something that just to have in your head if you encounter a caregiver yourself, and it's just a tidbit of information that you can give them to help them out. So I'm gonna share my screen, and if sometimes when I share my screen, I have problems with it not, like you'll be able to see the PowerPoint, but you won't be able to see it move. So I'm gonna start it and move it, and y'all just let me know if you don't see it move, okay?
Okay.
Okay, do y'all see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
I'm
we can
not
see
able to see it, but I hope I can hear everything that you're saying.
Yes, I can see it. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And yes, if you're just listening on your phone, you won't be able to see it.
Yes.
But like I said, I am recording this. You will be able to hear
Okay.
everything. I'm going to read over the slides, so you're technically not going to miss anything.
Okay.
But I am recording this, and so if you do want to go back and watch the video, the PowerPoint at a later date, that's totally fine. I will email the link to all of you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let me make sure nobody's in the waiting room. Okay, we're good. For many caregivers, the holiday season gives rise to stress, frustration, and anger instead of peace and goodwill, which is a lot of what we just spoke about. And caregivers may feel resentful towards other family members who they feel have not offered enough assistance, which we know is a common emotion that caregivers feel. Managing care for someone full-time may leave caregivers feeling that they will not be able to participate as fully as they would like in family gatherings. Already feeling overwhelmed with caregiving tasks, stressed out caregivers may view traditional holiday preparations as more of a drain of energy than of a joy, which is easy for anybody, even non-caregivers, to feel that way about holidays. So keep in mind that the holidays can, in fact, provide unique opportunities to seek better communication, connection, and support from family caregivers. So one tip that you could do is just focus on what is meaningful. As much as we'd like to create the perfect holiday experience, remember that perfection is not the goal of the holidays. Meaning and joy are. There are many factors that we can't control when it comes to our loved ones' health and abilities, so adjust your view of a successful holiday. Talk about prioritizing the holiday activities that hold the deepest meaning. Focus on what feels necessary to produce a holiday feeling and create good memories. A lot of times in a situation, we make things what we want them to be. There are power in our words for sure, but just having a positive mindset goes a long way. If you're viewing something as something negative and stressful and draining, that's what it's going to be. If you view it as truly a time of just being around other people, spending time with loved ones, making memories, you're going to have a better outcome with that. So it's all in your mindset and how you view the situation. And maybe try simplifying your holiday activities. If going all out for the holidays will push you over the edge this year, Remember that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. If you can't put out all of your decorations, choose a few items that are most significant. You might ask a friend to decorate or pay someone to do so. You can always rearrange decorations once they are out. If going to all religious services feels like too much, choose one service that means the most. If sending greeting cards is too time consuming, try sending e-greetings or just a simple email or just a phone call. Many family caregivers also adjust the location of celebrations or postpone holiday travel to accommodate loved ones in their care. So just, like I said, if you're used to being the cook, the host, all that, maybe adjust your situation. Maybe, if nobody else is willing to host, maybe you say, okay, y'all can come over here, but why don't everybody else bring a dish or just things to lighten your load.
Yes, so Megatron is a good name for the mega book.
So also try to start new traditions. Instead of focusing on losses, which is very easy to do as a family caregiver, and what you and your loved ones aren't able to do this year, try doing something new. If your care recipient has trouble getting around, drive through a holiday light display or watch a holiday concert on TV. If you can't make it to a holiday gathering, have a video chat. Are your loved ones unable to participate in decorating this year? Invite a friend over to help, with your loved ones nearby to watch and cheer you on. Start a home holiday movie night tradition or watch old home movies so everyone can participate. As a family caregiver, you get overwhelmed easily because you're in the normal hustle and bustle of caregiving, but try to slow down, take a break, take a breath, and try to just think of some things to do to create new memories, good memories with your loved one during the holidays. Try adjusting meals. Food is a big part of many holidays, so it's especially difficult to think about changing mealtime traditions. But meals also require a lot of time, money, and coordination. So rather than canceling holiday meals entirely, learn to make adjustments like these. Simplify the menu. Try fewer side dishes or one dessert instead of 3. Split up the grocery shopping and cooking among other family members, like I mentioned before, and guests. There's nothing wrong with a potluck of just having everyone bring a little bit of something. You could also pay someone to cook meals at your house instead ahead of time or on the holiday. You could purchase all or part of meals at a local grocery store or restaurant, either fully cooked or ready for you to cook at home, and eat at someone else's house or even at a restaurant. It's not uncommon, especially these days, for just families just to go out to eat, which it is unfortunate for a lot of restaurant workers to have to work on holidays, but sometimes that's the only option for some families, just to accommodate everybody. And try to approach gift giving more efficiently. Gift giving is a part of many traditions, but it can be costly and time consuming. Try shopping online. Many online stores will also gift wrap. You might ask a friend or a relative to do your shopping and wrapping for you. You can always fall back on gift cards too. Family caregivers are often financially stressed, so it might be necessary to lower your gift giving budget this year and scale back the number of presents. Try giving the gift of time or attention, like scheduling outings or helping with a project. If your family is large, draw names in exchange with just one person. Have a re-gifting exchange, sharing items you already have. Order a photo gift, like a photo mug, pillow, or calendar, or write a meaningful letter that can be enjoyed throughout the year. A lot of people now, especially just the times we live in, a lot of people worry about being able to buy the best gifts, gift the best gifts, but a lot of times something so small goes such a long way. I've in the past had family members, my older family members, just write me a letter as just a Christmas gift. And those are some of my most cherished items because those are just things from their heart that mean much more to me than anything that anybody could ever buy me. So you just never know what little act of kindness can go such a long way for someone. And a lot of us anticipate holiday hot buttons, which is toxic situations or family drama or just negative situations that can come from the holidays. So are there holiday activities or toxic relationships that trigger stress or unhappy memories? Perhaps feelings of grief or loss overcome you at certain times of day? Do unhelpful relatives arrive for the holidays and criticize your caregiving? Maybe old family issues inevitably flare up at gatherings. It may be best to limit your exposure or even avoid certain places, events, conversations, or people. If you can't do that, prepare yourself. Minimize the drama. Don't try to resolve problems over the holidays. Instead, try short encounters and develop quick exit strategies. Mentally put yourself in a protective bubble, letting negative energy bounce off without hurting, annoying, or distressing you. Unfortunately, a lot of people in general, family caregivers or not, the holidays are stressful because we are around people that maybe we don't necessarily get along with, family that we have issues with. It brings up resentful feelings maybe that you have about certain family members about not helping you with caring for a loved one or something like that. And truly in those situations, maybe it is just a matter of not being around those people. In the end, that is the hardest situation. And I do recommend trying to work it out as best as you can, but sometimes you've just got to figure out what is going to be best for you and your loved one. And mind your mindset. Like I said before, it's all in your mindset. A positive mindset can go a really long way. Negative thinking actually activates your body's stress response. So steer your mind to the positives when you start down that slippery slope. Try to stay mindful, concentrating on the present moment. Think about what you can accomplish instead of what isn't getting done. Celebrate what your loved ones can do rather than dwelling on what they can no longer participate in. Revel in the holiday joys you experience instead of focusing on those you bypass. Appreciate the help you are receiving rather than resenting those who are not supportive of you in your caregiving role. And keep self-care always at the top of your list. I know us at Alabama Respite preach self-care, but it is so important as a family caregiver for you to care for yourself. As caregivers, you give, and during the holidays, you give even more. All that giving can leave you running on empty with high stress levels or even full-on burnout. Be aware of emotional ups and downs, fatigue, foggy thinking, inability to sit still, or the opposite, feeling frozen and unable to get anything done. These red flags have to be dealt with, but when we're busy, it's easy to let self-care slip. Just when we need it the most is when always you're not realizing it. Find ways to fill your tank, get plenty of sleep, walk with loved ones in a decorated shopping mall, dance to holiday music, stretch, do jumping jacks while watching holiday movies, anything to just get you moving. Enjoy holiday goodies, but be aware of that too many sugary treats can make your energy crash later. Be aware of an unhealthy coping skills like overeating or drinking too much. Get outside for some mood elevating vitamin D from sunlight, or consider therapeutic lighting if you suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Relax with some holiday scented aromatherapy to soothe and boost your mood. So set the mood with your environment. Do things, light a candle, play some music, something you know that's going to lift your spirits and mentally just calm you down, because ultimately in the end, that's taking a break for you, and that is self-care for you. Do any of you have any self-care practices that you regularly do?
I do. This is Mary.
Hi, Mary.
I Sometimes when I get a break, I'll go outside and I'll sit on my deck, and I have a lot of little devotionals that I like to read, and I'll sit out there and end up staying longer than I intended to. Um, but I end up reading, and sometimes I just pick up me a good novel and I'll start on it. And I just got through reading Tony Evans and his two sons and their two daughters book that they put out, and I read it in like less than a week. I guess I was hungry to read because I love to read, and so I do that sometimes. I read a lot, and sometimes I'll go to the mall like when it first opens up because I don't like big crowds, and I just walk, and not that I'm shopping for anything. Sometimes I'll just go in and just have my keys and my cell phone, and I just walk, to see new faces and smell a different scent, to see new people, not looking for anything, but just to breathe, if that makes sense. I do those two things. Sometimes I go to the park and just sit, watch people walk and play with their kids, and those are kind of some of my things that I do.
Well, that is awesome, Mary. I'm glad that you have the opportunity to do those things. A lot of people aren't, but the fact that you recognize that those are good breaks for you and rechargers for you is awesome. Does anybody else have anything that they do for self-care regularly?
I'm Susan. I'm a walker. I'm a walker myself. And Tristan, my dude, he likes to walk. But we will turn up the music and sing and dance. And he has instruments. He likes to shake his tambourine. And anyway, so it gives us exercise. And if you sing loud enough, stress will come out of you too.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that is awesome. I'm glad y'all are able to do that too.
I have something to share. I have a dog. I'm not a dog person. However, in addition to what I do, and I love reading now, I think within the last probably 2 years, I'm getting used to the Audible, which is something different for me. But every day I set a time after I'm done with everything I have to do, once I get home and the dinner and everything else, I do listen. So that gives me a time just for myself, just to kind of unwind and focus on, particular book that I'm reading, and also playing with my dog. I did not realize just how therapeutic it is. So like I say, I'm new to the dog world, and it's been now a year. So those are the new two things, I guess, that I'm doing, and it's changed within the last 2 years. Had to modify some things, but that is what I do to kind of self-care.
That's awesome. Yes, dogs can be very therapeutic. And I've had dogs all my life, and I do love dogs, but I never realized truly the impact that they can have until I worked at Huntsville Hospital, and we had dogs come in regularly just to visit patients. They do have one on staff now just for patients to visit their rooms. And you can actually get your dogs certified to be able to do things like that. And my mom has a German Shepherd who is actually certified, and she goes to nursing homes all the time. And it's just really sweet to see the reaction of these people, just to see the dogs. But hang on one second, y'all, because I just got a notification that our meeting's going to end in 10 minutes, and that's not true because I have a license and I forgot to swap it on today. So let me go. Let me just fix this really quick. And it still may end, but if that's the case, then just go back to the email and click the same link, and it'll bring us right back. But I'm changing the license to me now, so hopefully that fixes it. But like I said, if not, just go back to the email and click the same link.
It was funny though, talking about the dog. My dog is 13 years old, and my mother did not want a dog, and now she is just everything. He's so much of a comfort for her. My mother actually passed in September, but she has a twin sister, and I'm starting to engage with her a little bit more. And actually, I think I may be caregiving with her a bit. But she's equally enamored with the dog. The dog doesn't know she's a dog, of course, but my Aunt Martha, I talked to her yesterday, and she's like, "So bring Dresden over, and then you can just leave." I'm like, "Well, no." No, that's not how that's gonna happen.
Oh my gosh. Well, I have two dogs now, and they're 5 and 8. They're very sweet, but they're very large. And one of them in the past year was diagnosed with epilepsy.
Oh
So
goodness.
that's been a journey, to say the least. He keeps us on our toes, which I don't know if y'all know, that epilepsy in dogs is triggered by deep sleep.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so
Mm.
been a journey, like I said, but we're making it. So
See, and my dog, and this just recently started. She'll be sleeping, and then she'll start running, in her sleep, and
mhm.
I'm like,
Oh
"Wake up! What
wow.
are you doing?"
Well, yeah. Mine does that too, but yes, epilepsy in dogs is triggered by deep sleep, and it's, yeah, not great. So we will carry on. Sorry for that diversion. Um, and like I said, the meeting may end, and if it does and we're not done, just go back to your email and get into that. That was my mistake.
Well, it showed that you had unlimited minutes. I think it showed that you were updated.
Oh, okay, good. So
Yeah.
maybe, hopefully it just, it fixed it. Okay. So if you've ever been on a training with me before, I preach and preach and preach that other caregivers are your greatest resource. In any walk of life that any of us are in, none of us can understand and resonate with someone else unless we are walking in the same path that they are. So connecting with other caregivers is your greatest resource. Other caregivers are feeling many of the same emotions that you are, even when others don't understand. Connect to share your feelings and get tips for holiday survival. If it's difficult to get to a caregiver support group due to holiday business or weather, try online message boards or social media groups. Even like in a meeting like this, we always have, if not all, several family caregivers. And really, our hope for these is for you to connect through these meetings with other caregivers, exchange numbers, chit chat about, what you're going through, to maybe make someone else feel like they're not alone and make their feelings feel normal and manageable. And, you all can help each other in some way or another. So always ask for help, which I know is much easier said than actually done, but even if you don't normally do so, the holidays are a great time to get some extra help. Even a few hours can be a huge relief. Family and friends can help
Yeah.
with holiday preparations. A personal assistant or concierge can complete items on your holiday to-do list or handle personal things like organizing mail or running errands. Get someone to clean the house or catch up on laundry. Ask family and friends to help with direct care for your loved ones, or try community resources like adult daycare centers, in-home or facility-based respite care, or paid home health aides or caregivers. Remember, you'll be happier if you can go with the flow and expect that there will be some delays, a crisis or two, and maybe some disappointments along the way. So once the holidays are over, if you've successfully made it through, enjoyed yourself, made memories, had a good time, write a thank you note to family members or friends who spent time with your loved one. Emphasize the positive impact their visit or brief time spent with your loved one had on them. This may reinforce positive feelings from their visit and diminish any discomfort they experienced. They may then be more encouraged to visit again or be more supportive of your efforts. And like I said, those were just some things that maybe you could consider to make the holidays a little more enjoyable for you. Is there anything that stood out to y'all, to any of you, that maybe you could implement and practice during this holiday season?
Definitely say finding time for yourself, because I think that's where a lot of frustration come from with a lot of people, because like you said, you get so wrapped up and tied up into, making sure this person is good, making sure this is done, that is done, and doing for others that, we tend to put ourselves on the back burners. And I find myself doing that a lot. Also, just ensuring that my family is well, that my employees are well, and, even those around me that I might think might need something. And, there's not a lot of time left for self. So I think that is vitally important, especially like you said, during the holiday seasons.
Yes, definitely. For everybody in general, it can be very, very overwhelming that a lot of times we lose sight of just time together, enjoy it and everything. So yes, like recharging and just taking care of yourself goes a long way.
That was really good, but I also think minding your mindset. I need to go back and read that again. I think there was a lot in there, and there's so much that you're. I found myself trying to control so much and trying to do so much that part of what needed to be encapsulated in that was working on me. There's certain things that I've got to let go of. There's certain things that I've got to be more flexible about. And I can't just react to everything. I was very protective of Mother, and what I felt like would be either emotionally damaging to her or painful for her. Sometimes you just kind of have to let things go, and like you say, remove yourself, remove situations, and just forego certain things, and not try to be the all-encompassing person that fixes everything all the time.
Mhm.
Yes. Trying to not be in control is a task in itself, but a lot of times that's just very beneficial.
hmm you're the point person, and you kind of constantly tell everybody and yourself you've got everything. So you just
Yes.
kind of have to walk those little paths and let some stuff go.
Yes. Unfortunately, my mother, who is the youngest of three girls, her oldest sister passed away last year. And just from the passing and the caregiving needed for her oldest sister, her and her middle sister are totally estranged now.
Oh no.
And yes, and both of their parents are deceased, so they're truly all they have left, other than like their like their spouses and their kids. And it's really sad. Thankfully, my mom she's at the point now where she's just trying to put things to the side, and trying to mend that relationship. But even in the role, it all stemmed from in the role of them being caregivers for their sister. They just totally had it out and burn up the relationship over just nonsense.
Oh.
But recently I read that a lot of times, it's the anticipation of something negative happening that
Exactly.
wears us down more than
Yep.
something happening that never even happened.
It's like you
Yep.
intuitively know it's going to hit, and
Yes.
Right.
And so I personally have been working on that because, like I said, with my dog with epilepsy, when he has seizures, it is during the middle of the night when he's sleeping his hardest. And then my 1-year-old has had an ear infection. So this is like my first bout of literally her waking up in the night her whole entire life, because she came out of the womb sleeping 12 hours a night. So I've had my first
Lucky mama.
very, but I'm paying for it now with this illness. But it's like last night Everybody was fine. My husband's out of town, but just like I didn't sleep well, even though I should have, because nothing happened. But the anticipation of a dog having a seizure, my child crying, something kept me awake more than anything, and everybody was fine. I'm like, this is so annoying. Yeah.
Oh God.
A lot of times it's just talking ourselves down from things that we don't even know are actually going to happen, you know? So I hope we all can practice that, just to have a good mindset of just having positive thoughts, having positive words of affirmation, like, I am going to sleep well tonight. I am going to, I'm going to go to this event and enjoy it. Nobody's going to be mean to me, or,
Yeah, exactly.
it's just all in the mindset, all in the mindset. I don't know why I
Maybe
keep
they
having trouble saying that.
maybe they didn't mean to pick apart how you care for somebody. Maybe they just,
Exactly.
immediately like, wait a minute, I'm doing the best I can.
And we all of our minds work so different. I've had to come to that conclusion, something that someone did to offend me, I just have to tell myself they probably don't even realize that they offended me, because that was just their way of, just dealing with something or saying something, or really maybe even complimenting me, but maybe in just a way that I wouldn't compliment me.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just that, trying to see things from other people's point of view, which is hard. But you got to remind yourself, not everybody's going to be you. So you just don't know. So does anybody else? Go ahead.
Can you hear me? I came back in a little bit afterwards because I was at my work site.
Mm-hmm.
I have found that I'm the youngest of 4, and when I came back home, because I was in Atlanta, I realized
She's fading out.
showing signs of early signs of dementia. Hello?
We're still
You
here.
sound like you're far away from your phone.
You're just breaking up a little bit. I think your reception's bad.
Yeah, I'm driving. Hopefully it'll pick up a little bit better. But just to get to it, I just found myself doing not majority, but all of the caregiving, because I moved back and moved in with her. And one of my struggles is being able to get my family to pitch in and help, and nobody wants to do that. They don't want to do it financially. I was basically literally having to beg them to help financially and
I've been there.
Emotionally. And I ended up having to, when COVID hit, I had to leave my job because I didn't have anybody to take care of her. The center had shut down, and so she didn't have anywhere to go. I don't have any children, so the grandchildren that are here are my sister's oldest child, and I was very frustrated. I mean, I talk about it because I had to quit my job because none of them wanted to help, and here we were with no income coming in but her income, and it was very frustrating because my mom had done a lot for this particular grandchild because she was the oldest, and my mom had took care of her, and I was very frustrated. A whole year, no working, no income, just the what I was getting from respite and other friends, and come forward, I ended up having to go into therapy. And the thing is, I am a mental health therapist. I am a counselor. But I had to get therapy because I was getting so angry at my family because they would not step up to the plate. They were okay with me doing everything. They were okay with me financially paying for somebody, even when I went back to work part-time. Now I'm back to work full-time at a school system. They were okay with me doing all of that. And I got so mad because I was like, my mother raised all of us after my dad died. And I'm like, are we all from the same people? I mean, I got so mad. I was trying to figure out what happened. What happened? I mean, I understand my oldest brother lives in Oklahoma. My sister lives in Philly, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You know, she lives there. And my second brother, he lives here in Fayette. Now, I can understand, you know, but it just took a toll on me because I was like, financially, somebody could help. You know, somebody could come and stay at least a month and give me a relief, but it never happened. And trying to make it short, my sister did ended up coming, but she didn't understand that I had to literally tell her, this is what you do. You can't, she was on vacation when she was here. Like, no, it's not a vacation. You're here to help me. There is no vacation with someone that has dementia. There is no vacation. You and my mom is like, she's anxious. She has to be doing something. So she's always into something. So you kind of like have to watch her. She has not taken off. You know, she hasn't got, you know, to a place where she's taken off. She's threatened to take off, but she hasn't done it. And fast forward, my mother ended up in the hospital and for about a week. And we really didn't know what the outcome was. It was, you know, it was that, you know, this might be it, you know. And so my family did come home. My brother, my sister came, my sister stayed and helped out. But it was still like they forgot that I needed time and I didn't get that time, even when she was here, because I was still, you know, I still had to work even when she was here. So I really didn't have a break because I was still trying to help with my mom. And then my sister was trying to help with her new great grandbaby, because we have a new great grand. And it was just like nobody thought, well, hey, let's just let her or send her somewhere for a weekend, but it didn't happen. And so the other week, a friend of mine kept saying, "Kat, you just need to just do something." So I said, I guess I just have to pay somebody out of my pocket just to come see my mother for a couple hours so that me and my friend, she's a young lady, could go to an event and enjoy the event because my family wasn't going to do it. You know, they don't, and maybe I'm wrong, but people kept, one of my friends keep saying, well, you need to say something. I said, I shouldn't have to say something. I've been saying something for years and years and years. Shouldn't have to keep saying this over and over again, you know. So that's where I'm at. And I don't want to put her in a nursing home because she's still mobile. I used to work in a nursing home years ago, and I know that, you know, now it's even harder. The staffing is shorter. COVID is even difficulty. So I'm like, if I can just keep her at home as long as possible, at least I know that she's taken care of. She's safe, as safe as I can keep her, and not being around all of those other clients, patients, and other people coming in and out. And just we're still in this pandemic, so I'm doing my best to keep her at home. But it really has taken a toll, especially these last 2 years, 2 to 3 years, because she has not. She's the dimension has progressed where she's not able to do as much as she used to do. So that's my I guess you can say my little outlet.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
It is.
It is.
And I feel for you so much. I understand the family dynamic. Mother has lived with me, and my dad, you know, they moved in with me. We built a house together, and when family came in after mother was diagnosed with her illnesses, they 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 did seem like they thought it was somewhat of a vacation to come back home to be, you know, surrounded by family and stuff. And they were lost. They didn't know what to do. They were, it's almost like they were afraid to do anything, to see mother in a position where she was not, you know, mom or grandma, that she was
denial.
one
That's
in
where
need
mine
of
are,
care.
in denial.
Yeah, yeah. It's, I'm so sorry to hear that. I've been through it.
I have
Me
to.
too. Me three.
And it was basically, I thought she was telling my story.
Thank you. Thank you.
Me too.
I
Literally,
felt
I felt
so
like
much
she,
of
and I
that.
mean, I'm talking about down to the letter. I felt like she was telling my story,
Me.
but the
Yeah.
only difference was she was saying that her siblings lived away. The sad part of mine is it was seven
Right
of
here
us
with
out of
me.
10 children. It was seven of us right here. They come by, they visit,
Hmm.
stay a few
Oh
minutes,
wow.
and they were gone. Never said, do you need to go and do anything? Or do you need help with anything? It was just like, and it got to a point when I did have to go somewhere and do something. Mom would be like, well, how long are you going to be gone? Because it's almost like they know who they can
They do
depend
know.
on, and they
Absolutely.
Yeah.
know
Hmm.
who is going to take care of them. They know, they just know, and they become dependent upon that one child, not realizing the stress factor that's involved in what all that you have to do. And it was like, I never told them the days that I cried or anything. And I was kind of like her. I was saying I shouldn't have to ask. I
Exactly.
shouldn't have. You see what all I have to go through, and you
Yeah.
see what all I have to do. And I'm proud of you. I don't need you to be proud of me. I need you to help me.
That's right. Help,
But
help.
I've been in her shoes. I know what it's like. But I ended up having a nervous breakdown,
Oh
and I
no.
had to leave my job for six
Oh my
months. But
God.
I never told my mom that I had the nervous breakdown because I just kept doing what I was doing for her, just like it never happened. The only difference was I just said no visitors, and I meant it, and I didn't care who felt about it. I just said no visitors
Mm-hmm.
because I had to heal myself while taking care of it. I know it was nothing but strength from the Lord that got me through. But after I put my mom to rest at Cedar Oak, when I walked away from the grave site, God said, breathe.
Oh.
Hmm.
Mm.
He said, breathe. And I got in my car and I told my husband, I don't want to go and eat anything. I just want to go lay down. I
Yeah.
just want to just go to sleep for a long time.
You
I
did
said,
what
and if I don't
you
wake
did
up,
what you needed to do. You did what you
I
had to do.
did what I had to
You
do.
feel
Yeah, I did what
satisfied
I
in
had to
knowing
do.
that.
Yeah, and I find peace in knowing that, and I forgave them, and I found peace in knowing that I had done all that I could do.
There you go.
And, you know, I had plenty of tell me how to do it, and what I need to do,
Mm-hmm.
but, no help, so I know, I know what it was like. So, I mean, I thought she was telling my story. I really did,
Oh
but
wow.
it was shameful. I think what hurt me more is that they lived here, right here in this
Right.
city with me,
Mm.
Right.
and didn't. My oldest brother helped me when he could, but I didn't need my brother to be bathing my mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I needed sisters to help me. So I
Yeah.
know what she's talking about. Been there, done that.
And the thing is, that's their mother too. That's not just your mother.
Yes, thank
My
you.
sister used to tell me, "Your mama needs such and such." I was like, "Is that your mother too? Aren't we?
Yo, mom.
Are we siblings? I thought we were siblings." And it got
Yeah,
to the point where she really stepped up towards the end, but it got to that
yeah,
point when she realized because she would give me a
double A.
day. I retired to take care of mother, but she would give me a day so I could do stuff. She realized what it took on that 4 hours I was gone. So I think it finally came to her that she lives here, right up the street from us. And instead of her twice a day little blow in, blow out, she moved in with us towards the end.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's a blessing.
it was, but she
That's
realized
a blessing.
it takes both of us to do this.
Yeah.
We were able to keep mother at home.
Well, my sister
And
just flat out told me I can't do it.
and
She just told me
that's
she
what
couldn't
I
do it.
told my family. we had all agreed that mother was going to stay at home. And I told him, I said, in order for me to keep her at home, I need the support, even if it's just financially support. And my oldest niece, which I said is the one that lives here, and my mom practically raised her. My mom did everything for her financially, help with her children. Now, me and her have had odds at it. We have ran around, and there's a different story behind that. I know that she's my niece, and I know she has some mental issues that she's in denial with, but she has been my thorn in my side. She's been the thorn in my side because she's the only one here that can take some of the burden off of me, but she refused to because her 2 children are grown now. And we have raised those 2 children. Me and my mother have raised those 2 children as well. And she's the only one. My mother doesn't have any family here. She's from Mississippi. My dad is the reason why we're here. She moved here and married my dad. So most of the family that I'm related to is on my dad's side, not on my mom's side. But that niece has been a thorn in my side because I was expecting her to do more because of what my mother did for her, and she's the worst. Right there by the pocket. Yeah, she's the worst. She's the worst. She will, and I love her to death, but trying to explain to her that she needs to step up has always been an argument. So I've had to ask God to just take control of it, to give me peace and not to let me be angry, and to move on and do what I can for my mother. And I don't have any regrets. My mother's still living. She'll be 87, if Lord willing, in January. She'll be 87. And people keep telling me, Kat, you got it. That's what they call me. You got it. Just do what you can do. Ask God for strength. And in the end, you won't have no regrets. And I said, that's what I'm looking at, that I won't have any regrets because I refuse to put her in a nursing home. As long as I got strength and breath in my body, I refuse to put her in a nursing home because I know even when she was able to she was taking care of people in the community. That's just how she was. Yeah. There were people that were younger than her that were sick, and she would go and she would take care of them. And I'm like, that was her gift. That was what her purpose, one of her purposes. And I'm going to do my best to keep her at home. That's my goal, to keep her at home until God takes her on. But it's been a struggle, And like I said, I'm a therapist by profession, and it has been a struggle. I've had to seek therapy, and I didn't think I would, but it's like either that or I'm going to have a nervous breakdown.
I understand.
But it's a journey. It is a journey. It's a journey. It's that indeed. It's a journey.
Well, thank y'all for sharing. Caregiving is a journey, and when you're going through it, it seems like a lot, but as you see, almost all caregivers are going through the same stuff, the same turmoil, the same feelings. So I'm glad y'all were able to share today. I hope you enjoyed today's topic, today's meeting. At the end, once we're finished with this, if you will, reply to the email I sent you with the Zoom link and let me know you were on the meeting today, and I will send you a link for the post test. And that is what, if you fill that out, that is how you will receive the stipend for respite if you have not already received one this fiscal year. So please email me and just say, hey, I was on the meeting today, and I'll reply with the link. And I will also email you all the link of this recorded training once I upload it to our YouTube. So keep an eye out for that. But if y'all don't have anything, I'll go ahead and let y'all go. I hope y'all have a really good.
What did you say your name was?
Carly.
Carly. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Carly, is there any way that the ladies that's in this Zoom that we can connect with each other and maybe even, reach out to each other and do a group by our own self? Is that possible?
Yeah, honestly, the easiest way probably for that is for y'all to share each other's email addresses in the chat box here.
Okay, that's a
Okay.
great
We
way.
have a chat box.
That's probably gonna be
Okay.
the easiest way without me, giving out people's information that don't want it given out and all that. So yeah, I'll leave this
Or
up and
maybe they could reply when you send that, because you're gonna send the email to everybody
Mhm.
of the link to the YouTube. Maybe they could, reply all on that, just hit reply all.
Oh yeah.
They wanted
Even
to share their information.
even already, like you could reply all to the email that has the Zoom link. Not everybody I sent it to was on today, but if you reply all to that one, whoever wants to reply can, you know what I mean? Or you can wait until I send the YouTube link. But yes, that way too, whatever y'all want to do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carly, and everybody
Thank
that
you
was
so
on the
much.
call or the virtual group. And I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas.
Thank
Yes.
you, Nikki.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You guys as well.
Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye. Merry
Bye.
All
Christmas.
right. Y'all be
Merry
blessed.
Christmas.
You too.
Merry
Bye-bye.
Christmas to you too.